love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Those 5 pillars alone will keep you in the will of God. Peace and blessings. I pray all is well. I just wanted to jump in really quick, really quick. I just wanted to jump in and give you a little bit of encouragement. One of the things that I just want to share with you and remind you is that sometimes we go through things with the residuals. Sometimes we have the residuals on us. So there's a saying, I grew up in church, and there was always a saying that I don't look like what I've been through, and thank God I didn't come out smelling like smoke. And for some of y'all that don't know what that means, it's about the 3 Hebrew boys. It's a story in the Bible about 3 Hebrew boys who didn't bow down and for the king. They stood their ground. They stood on truth, and they got thrown in a fiery furnace. A fiery furnace. But when he looked in there, he saw a 4th man, and he had to get, some confirmation like, hey, didn't I throw 3 people in there? Like, why do I see 4 people? And so the 4th person was a representation of how God is with you when you go through things. And so that's one of the little sayings that, a lot of church people we get when we say, thank God I didn't come out smelling like smoke. Or if you hear anybody say that, that's what they mean. They went through the fiery furnace and they came out, clean, not smelling like smoke. But what about the times when we have the residuals? What about the times when we do smell like smoke? What about the times when we go through the struggles and we made it on the other side, but there's still a remnant of the pain, of the hurt, of the trauma, of the drama, when it's still a little bit of toxicness lingering around the atmosphere? What do you do? What do you do in that moment? That's what people don't often tell or guide us to get the understanding of. So what do you do when you're on the other side of the healing, but you still have the residuals? You smell like smoke. People look at you and like, oh, what's going on over there? Like, I see a little bit of mess in the atmosphere. But you're like, no, that's not me. What happens is sometimes we hold on to the thoughts and the ideas. They don't even know that we were in a fiery furnace until we start talking about it. But we put more attention and more premise on the fire and not on the God. We put more of our energy in telling the story about the pain than the purpose. We want to talk about all the bad parts of having this baby and not that this baby was a blessing. Before I get too deep, let's define residuals. Residuals is not the blessing. Residuals is what comes after the blessing. And sometimes getting up at 3 a.m. to take care of the baby is a residual of the blessing. Sometimes managing and budgeting and, finance of the business is not the blessing part of the business, but it is something that comes with having the business, being in entrepreneurship. So no, we don't throw the baby out with the bathwater first and foremost, but you have to get your heart space in the right place. Whether you worked hard for the promotion, you earned it the right way, but nobody is giving you your accolades. Nobody is leaning to you for understanding and for guidance. It can feel kind of funny sometimes when you pray for the baby. Now you got the baby. But lo and behold, it's things that come with the baby that makes things a little hard. You pray for the wife, the spouse, the husband, for the car. You pray for these material things or these physical things or these emotional things. And it has some work to go with it. So how do you get out of that? So I'm going to share with you this story. It's a hadith. And a hadith is a story of the Prophet Muhammad. Some stories he told for guidance. So story of Abraham. He later on in life visits his son Ishmael. And when he gets there, Ishmael's not home, and he's greeted by Ishmael's first wife. and he has a conversation with her. He asks how things are going, and she just starts spilling out all the negative things and just, complaining, actually. So he left a message for her to give Ishmael when he returned. And it went something like this. Tell your husband when he returns that an old man came to visit, and during the visit, his message was, a wise man's son is half as wise as the father. It's for him to change the threshold at the gate. The heart, the entryway to everything that you have, the mind heart, the heart space, the doors of your heart, that's the entrance place. And if that is negative, if your focal point is always in something that is less than or some type of complaint, then your trajectory is going to look downward. You're going to bring the smoke with you. Like they say, I want all the smoke. Guess what? You're going to have all the smoke. But if you change your heart space and you change your trajectory on something positive and point out the blessings and speak on the blessings, so ultimately you have to change the anchor. Are you anchored in the pain? Are you anchored in the disappointment? Are you anchored in the getting up early in the mornings, the going to bed late at nights, the trying to make this work? Are you anchored in the negative things? Or are you anchored in gratitude? Where's your heart space? So when people say, I've been through the fire, but thank God I did not come out smelling like smoke, what they mean is my blessing outweighed the madness. But again, what happens when you're going through and you have the residuals? You got to recenter yourself. You have to anchor yourself. Start speaking with the word and the tongue of gratitude. Be thankful for the little things, and God will make you ruler over many. Follow through with peace. Let peace be your end game. I'm telling you, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Those things, you will have the key to a better way, a better life, a better opportunity, a better situation. You can see and have that gratitude. That gratitude will come easy because sometimes you got to find the thank yous. For some, it's easy, but for some, it's like, how? How do I thank you for this? But I'm telling you, stand on those things. And it's easy because, again, God is not the author of confusion. Never have been, never will be. You've been given the keys. You just got to know where to look to find them. And it's always within. Because you're not here to change somebody else. The change starts right here.